Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing.
IDF forces responded overnight to two different incidents in the West Bank, resulting in 2 injuries. In the first incident, late Monday evening, a unit was called to the settlement of Kiryat Arba after an attempted infiltration was reported. According to the army, though, the report ended up being an Israeli teen climbing over the fence and not terror-related. Still, on the way to the scene, a reservist on duty was injured in an unrelated car accident. He was immediately rushed to Jerusalem's Hadassah Hospital in Kerem with a serious head wound. In the second incident near the city of Nablus, Israeli security forces stopped a suspicious vehicle when it began speeding towards a group of soldiers. According to the IDF statement, the driver ignored calls to stop, so, quote, in response, the troops conducted the procedure for stopping the suspect, including firing shots at the vehicle, end quote. The Palestinian suspect was wounded in the shoulder, apprehended, and taken to the hospital for treatment. The Palestinian car ramming took place near the Balata refugee camp, as soldiers, border police, and other defense officials were providing security for some 1,400 Jewish worshippers at Joseph's tomb in Nablus. Meanwhile, in Syria, Syrian state news agencies are reporting that 2 Israeli missiles came down near Damascus International Airport early this morning. According to the head of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, Israel targeted Hezbollah arms depots near the airport around 1 a.m. The observatory goes on to report that Syria failed to intercept the missiles. This attack, while still unsubstantiated by Israeli officials, is in line with stated Israeli policy in the region. Israel has often warned that the IDF will do anything necessary to keep enemies of the state from the northern border. More specifically, Iranian and Iranian-backed groups like Hezbollah. But this strike also comes just a day after Israel reported to the United Nations that pro-Assad Syrian forces had set up shop at an abandoned UN outpost in the demilitarized zone between the two countries. In clear violation of the cessation of hostilities agreement of 1973, the Syrian unit has even been confirmed developing the infrastructure of the outpost that was left vacant by UNDOF, or the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, in 2014. Israeli officials have asserted that it is the United Nations' responsibility to maintain the 1973 ceasefire agreement, but that the Jewish state will not hesitate to remedy the situation itself by force if necessary. Things have officially just gotten 100% more royal here in Israel. Prince William touched down at Ben Gurion Airport yesterday evening, kicking off his historic visit to the country. This is the first time in Israeli history that a member of the British royal family has come to the Holy Land on an official state visit. As per British policy, the trip's itinerary is explicitly non-political. Prince William, aka the Duke of Cambridge, toured the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial first thing this morning. Around noon, he has a lunch date with Prime Minister Netanyahu and his wife Sarah at their official residence. Then it's a short drive to President Rivlin's home for a one-on-one session. By the afternoon, Prince William will be in Jaffa to oversee Jewish-Arab coexistence events. Most believe that somewhere along the way, Prince William will even make a short little stop somewhere along Tel Aviv's Frishman Beach. So if you're hoping to get a royal selfie, that may be the best spot to scope out. Israeli leaders have mostly hailed this historic trip, the first time ever a member of the British royal family has been dispatched to the region under orders of the Queen of England. But the trip isn't without its controversy. The official British itinerary lists the prince's visit to holy spots in East Jerusalem as a part of the occupied Palestinian territories. Though the UK has kept a largely hands-off approach to the Middle East conflict, this label is in line with the British position that Jerusalem is a divided city whose fate is best left to be worked out between Israel and the Palestinians. This is probably one reason why Prince William's tour will finish with a trip to the Palestinian Authority, where he'll meet with PA President Mahmoud Abbas. With the UK expected to leave the rest of the EU in the near future, many wonder what London's relevance will really be in the coming years. This trip is likely an attempt to keep up that foothold in delicate global affairs. Russian President Vladimir Putin has just invited both Prime Minister Netanyahu and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to Moscow to watch the World Cup finals next month. If that were to happen, we could be seeing our first face-to-face between these two leaders in nearly 8 years. Peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians fell apart back in 2014. But Abbas and Netanyahu haven't even seriously spoken face-to-face since 2010. The times, of course, have changed quite a bit in these last few years. Though U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan has yet to be seen, many believe that it will land dead on arrival, given that the Palestinians no longer see the United States as an impartial negotiator to the issue. That's mostly due to Trump's decision late last year to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and to relocate the American embassy there accordingly. Both Hamas and PLO officials have accused the Trump administration of attempting to marginalize the Palestinians altogether. But Russia has slowly emerged as a dominant controlling force in the region. Putin's alignment with Syrian President Assad some years ago quickly brought Russian interests to the front line. Russia is suspected of allowing both Hezbollah and Iran to gain a foothold in southern Syria, right on Israel's doorstep. But many now believe Russia and Israel have signed a secret deal to increase the buffer zone. A Hamas official has just met with Putin's people in Moscow as well, and claims Russia opposed the incoming Trump peace plan. President Abbas has already taken up Putin on his offer for a front-row seat at the World Cup in Moscow. Prime Minister Netanyahu is still undecided, but if he does choose to go for it, there'd be way more than just soccer on the line. The Palestinian Authority's chief negotiator, AVERTED, is now asserting that United States peace envoys Jared Kushner and Jason Greenblatt offered to pay Arab states like Jordan and Saudi Arabia to support the White House's still unpublished Middle East peace plan. Further, AVERTED goes on to say that the money offered comes from funds previously allocated to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, and that Jordan at least turned down the offer. To the PLO, this assertion is more proof that the United States is not a partner in peace, an assertion that the PA made last December. Remember also that the United States has withheld most of its funding from Palestinian aid organization UNRWA in response to systemic biases against Israel, allegations of misconduct, and Palestinian payments to convicted terrorists. With the future of the organization seriously in jeopardy, the United Nations has again pleaded to member states to offer funding to fill this year's shortfall of over $250 million.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.